Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Shubha Mangalarti on this auspicious Purushottam month. And I also thank all the Japa leads. Thank you very much for joining. Today we are 48 in number, very good. So without much waiting, let us start our session, the all auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam. So I request all of you to kindly stop your chanting. Then after Bhagavatam class 30 minutes, then you can again continue your Japa. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So as our flowchart of first canto of the 7th chapter goes like this. The co-host, can you kindly take care of mutes and unmutes? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
So the 7th chapter goes like this. And today we are going to discuss the 19th words. 18 to 21, these verses talk about Arjuna battles with Ashwatthama, who releases Brahmastra. So the various kinds of nuclear weapons, they have been much more famous in the Dwapar Yuga also. And these days, technology is very, very inferior when compared to the Vedic technology. Okay, we will move forward. How after battling with Ashwatthama, what happens here? The title is The Son of Drona Punished. How really he punished, how he got saved from his death. That also we can discuss. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswatin Vyasam Tado Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukham Karati Vajalam Pangam Langaiti Girim Yat Kripatva Muhammad Shri Guru Dinataram Paramanandamad. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 21, chapter 7, text 19. Yada Sharanam Atmana
Yada Sharanam Atmanam
Yada Sharanam Atmana
Yada Sharanam Atmanam
Ekshata Shranta Vajinam
Aikshat Shrantavajinam
Ekshata Shranta Vajinam
Aikshat Shrantavajinam
Astram Brahma Shiro Mene
Astram Brahma Shiro Mene
Astram Brahma Shiro Mene
Astram Brahma Shiro Mene
Matranam Dvijatmajaha
Atmatranam Dvijatmajaha
Atmatranam Dvijatmajaha
Atmatranam Dvijatmajah.
Thank you, Mataji. Word meaning translation purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yada when Ashanam without being alternatively protected, Atmanam his own self, Aikshata sa, Shantavajinam the horses being tired, Astram weapon, Brahma Shiraha the topmost or ultimate nuclear, Mene applied Atma Tranam just to save himself. Dvija Atmaja, the son of a Brahmana. Translation: when the son of the Brahmana, Ashwatthama, saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternate for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra nuclear weapon. Translation: purport: in the ultimate issue only, when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called the Brahmastra is applied. The word Dvijatmajaha is significant here because Ashwatthama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahmana. The most intelligent man is called a Brahmana, and it is not a hereditary title. Ashwatthama was also formerly called the Brahma Bandhu, or the friend of a Brahmana. Being a friend of a Brahmana does not mean that one is a Brahmana by qualification. A friend or son of a Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahmana and not otherwise. Since Ashwatthama's decision is immature, he is purposely called herein the son of a Brahmana. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshmarum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Suyatapatakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Sri Radha Krishna Padan Lalit Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Cha Vishakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostane Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhesya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Papanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yadashanam Atmanam Ekshata Shantavajinam Astram Brahma Shiromene Atmatranam Dvijatmajaha. So, being infuriated, the son of the Acharya, who is the guru of all the Pandavas and Kauravas, and this son is called Ashwatthama. So, he did a ghora aparad and abominable sin he has done, and he had been chased by Arjuna. So then what happened when the son of a Brahmana, this Ashwatthama, saw that his horses were tired because he was, fled from the battlefield and he was running away. But how long the horses also can pull him? The horses also got really tired. So then he considered that there was no alternate for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra. So then Ashwatthama came to the conclusion that he could not able to be protected, and how long he can able to run away from the battlefield. But the person who was chasing him was none other than devotee, the dear devotee of the Lord. Now Ashwatthama, we can say, khel khatam ho rahe. So he has been, he is going to be captivated. He is going to be surely punished by the representative of Pandavas, that is the barrier Arjuna. Now what happens? The purport Srila Prabhupada. very nicely explains in the ultimate issue only when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called the Brahmastra is applied. We also use that formula Sama, Dana, Veda, Dandopaya, different in Vedic culture, different types of, treatment of a opponent is mentioned. Firstly, we try to pacify that person. If he is not pacified, we can try to, advise him. Then finally, danda has to be used. So here, the son of a Brahmana, he has committed the great sin by killing small children of the Pandavas. Then that too when they were asleep. So actually, upon killing such kind of aggressors, there is no sin. The person who sets fire to a house, who gives poison, and who attacks with the deadly weapons, who kidnaps one's wife, and who uh, uh, kills unnecessarily others, and who encroaches others' land. And these are the various sinners. If these sinners, if anybody kills these sinners, there is no sin accumulated on this account. See, the word Dvijatmaja is significant here because Ashwatthama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahmin. So we cannot say the son of a doctor can be also a doctor. No, it is not possible. And also we can say the son of a teacher cannot be a son. The son of a carpenter cannot be a son. Unless otherwise he is properly qualified. So, though Dronacharya was a guru of Kauravas and Pandavas, his son cannot be called a Brahmana unless otherwise he is qualified. So, here, Srila Prabhupada gives the wonderful statement here. Who is a Brahmana? Means the most intelligent man is called a Brahmana. And it is not a hereditary title. Many people, they think, even till today, there are various professions are available. These professional people, they think their children also, they are such and such. Like scientist son is also a scientist son. So it is not possible. We cannot call him like that. So the point to understand here is he has to say if the doctor is there, doctor's son has to be called a doctor. He is supposed to write the exam, get the medical seat, and he has to undergo the MBBS. Then afterwards, the committee will award him that he is a doctor. Otherwise, it is simply posing. But at the same time, he can also become a doctor to fulfill all these conditions and all other requirements. Yes, surely he is called a Brahman. Otherwise, it is simply, a drama. So, intelligent person is called a Brahmana, and Brahmana has got various qualities also. And Ashwatthama was also formerly called a Brahmabandhu. Who is a Brahmabandhu? A person who was born in a family of a Brahmana is called a Brahmana. But he does not have any qualifications of a Brahmana, then he is no longer a Brahman. So Ashwatthama was formerly called a Brahma Bandhu, or a friend of also a Brahmana. We cannot call him because he is not qualified and he does not have any kind of forgiveness or sama, dhamma, kshanti, arjam, evacha, all these items. He does not possess these Brahminical qualifications. Being a friend of a Brahmana does not mean that one is a Brahmana by qualification. He cannot claim, he cannot label himself as a Brahmana. So a friend or a son of Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahmana and not a... So the decision taken by Ashwatthama is simply mature decision. And he thought he would please his master But the master was not pleased because the master was demonic and also foolish. Why he was foolish? He could not able to identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is in front of him. So here he is purposely called herein the son of Brahmana because he does not have any kind of qualifications. Can somebody kindly go on mute? The co-host kindly take care of mutes and unmutes. Okay, in this way, a friend or son of a Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be a Brahmana. In Bhagavad Gita, what are the qualifications of a Brahmana is very nicely explained here. What are they? Samadhamastapasaucham kshantir arjavam evacha jnana vijnanamastikhyam brahma karma swabhavacham. Bhagavad Gita 18.42. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. For example, if a Brahmana, if a person is not in a peaceful condition, he is not called Brahmana. And a person who does not have self-control. So here we can understand this Ashwatthama does not have any kind of self-control. Aggressively he behaved and mercilessly he killed the children of the Pandavas, that when they were sleeping. And this is the great kind of sin. And he does not have any austerity. Obviously, he loses all the purity. He does not have any tolerance and he is not honest in his behavior. So when this Brahmana acted as a Kshatriya, because he wanted to help the Kauravas, he wanted to fight against the Pandavas in favor of the Kauravas, and he acted like a Kshatriya. But Kshatriya is not supposed to kill children or women or cows or aged people. That is not the qualification of a Kshatriya. Kshat, the word is used from the dangers and attacks. Traya means who will avoid or who will protect from this kind of dangers. So technically, a Kshatriya is a person who can protect all the citizens and all the living entities in this kingdom, in his kingdom, then only he is called a Kshatriya. When Ashwatthama played a role of a Kshatriya, and he did not behave, he does not have any honesty, he does not have any knowledge or wisdom, and finally he lost all his religiousness, and thereby mercilessly he killed all the son of Pandavas. Then he got into the trouble. What is the trouble? And he lost all his proverbs. So in the upcoming verses, it will be very nicely explained how the son of Dvijabandhu, how he has been punished is very nicely explained here. Okay, so here I stop my Bhagavatam class, and further, after this, there will be some questions. If you are unable to ask questions, then there are few questions which I can share with you, and who can able to select that questions, I will select you who can answer that. Okay, fine then. So the summary of this verse is the son of a Brahmana, he cannot hold a title like I am doctor, I am a scientist, or I am a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya. He cannot label himself unless otherwise he is trained, he is properly qualified. So here Prabhupada emphasizes that he uses so many words that Dvijottama is the person who is a very intelligent person we called Uttama. Uttama means above the darkness. And the most intelligent man is only called a Brahmana. So another point I would like to add in this context is Vaishnava is by default is also a Brahmana. So those who are chanting the holy name of the Lord and following certain regulator principles and taking Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master, he is called a Vaishnava. So a Vaishnava is already a Brahmana, and his Holiness Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava, He has very nicely explained the difference between a Brahmana and a Vaishnava. A Brahmana can able to follow some Vedic culture, and also he can recite certain mantras. He can follow certain regulatory principles. But if he is not devotee of Lord Krishna in a parampara, and he is not a Vaishnava. But a Vaishnava, whether he may be in any downtrodden caste, or he may be citizen of any country, that does not matter. If he follows the regulatory principles under a bona fide spiritual master and he chants certain rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is a Vaishnava. So in this way, in the Shastras, it is mentioned that Vaishnava has got higher qualification, higher responsibilities, and higher significance. In this way, there is a lot of differences out there between a Brahmana and Vaishnava. So Vaishnava stands always above a Brahmana. Okay. So thank you very much. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. So if you have any questions, comments, you are welcome. Any questions? Any comments? You want to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for giving us a nice explanation about the Brahminical qualities and how one Brahmana actually should behave. That's a very nice understanding, Prabhuji. And also, I got some insights for me. I don't know if I'm correct or wrong, Prabhuji. I just want to ask this question. Being a Brahmana and not performing the Brahminical qualities is what was explained. Here I have one question, Prabhuji. Kindly, I'll try to ask this question.
Yes.
Being a householder, what one has to do? Like Prabhuji, we have, as we have learned in the Vaishnava community, that we have the 4 regulatory principles, try to get in line with the parampara, try to do devotional activities and all that. But if one experiences a kind of non-cooperation, I don't say it is non-cooperation, a kind of non-cooperation, and then wherein the householder has to take this danda or whatever it is. So there also we are stuck. We are not able to actually do the danda, but due to unforeseen circumstances, if we actually give the danda, then we are in trouble, as the same as Ashwatthama was there. So I'm trying to get a kind of a solution, or what I should do, how we can actually do things correctly, like what we should actually follow. Like in the place of Ashwatthama, I put myself also. What Ashwatthama actually had to do at that time, instead of using the Brahmastra, what he could have actually done. So is there any answer for that, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, see, we cannot compare this Ashwatthama to our Grihastha life. Of course, he was a son of a Brahmana. So, there are 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Whichever favorable for a living entity, he can accept that and serve Krishna under the guidance of his spiritual master. Then he will have a wonderful life. So another point is, being a parent, being a father of some children, he can nicely nurture them and rear them in Krishna consciousness. And even the children, if they accept the father and follow his instructions or footsteps, then they all will become devotees, and their family will become Vaishnava family, which is very favorable for Krishna consciousness. The other way, if they are not cooperative, maybe father has to be very patient, and he has to follow the Vedic culture. He has to engage the whole his family in the services of Guru and Krishna. For a period of time, they will be properly, qualified, matured, purified, and surely they will support him and also the Hare Krishna movement. Thereby, the whole society will be completely benefited. But it does not happen all of a sudden, and it takes a very long time that one should get, one should be very tolerant in these circumstances, and he can also make humble prayers for his family members, and also he has to engage them in the services. That engagement in the services will actually benefit. Otherwise, simply giving instructions, does not help. So it takes some time for purification. So we cannot compare ourselves to Ashwatthama because he was the sinner, and he was the sinner, and he had been punished by the Pandavas. Hare Krishna.